To perform at your best, you must become good at being your own personal cheerleader. This means developing a routine of coaching and encouraging yourself so that you can play at the top of your game. And to help you out, we're going to be focusing on those result areas. Good morning and welcome to Transform Your Life in 15 Minutes. My name is McAdams. I'm an author. I'm also an accounting professor and a certified life coach. I specialize in personal and small business finance and also fitness. I help people reach their goals. And today we're going to be doing 5-minute exercises, one each for the mind, the body, and the soul. Now I want you to understand two things. The first one is that we're going to be doing a 5-minute lesson. It's only going to take you 5 minutes to learn, but it's going to take you a lifetime to master. And the second thing is, I want you to know that I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm just here to help you unlock what's already within you. So if you're ready to get started, hopefully you got your pen and paper because you're smart people and you're ready to take notes. All right, so we're going to be talking about focusing on those key areas. Now, by key areas, those key result areas, we're talking about the things that you and only you can get done. So remember, we are, in case you're just joining us, by the way, welcome, thank you. And if in case you're joining us, we are talking about a book written by, Brian Tracy, and it's called Eat That Frog. And this is a book about procrastination. So within procrastination, we're going to be talking about things like organization and also time management. So if these are the areas that you're having trouble in, then welcome. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that. Now, specifically, if you're just now joining us, you're kind of in the middle of it because we started off with a bigger area. We started off with our vision, and so now we're working through our list. Okay, so specifically today, we're going to be talking about focusing on those result areas. And again, these are areas that only you have control over. Okay, so these are things that you must get done. No one else can do it but you. So if you're looking at your list from yesterday, when we talked about the ABCDE method, these are going to be the items that you identify as those A. Okay, so these are high value activities. These are very, very important activities that only you can do. All right, so the first area or the first step is to make sure that you identify these areas. Now, generally speaking, for most people, there's typically no more than 7 of these areas, okay? But the first step is to identify what are these key result areas, the things that only you can do. Now, once you have those identified, now you want to rate them, okay? Rate them on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the least and then 10 being the most. Now, the reason that you want to do this is because you want to identify areas that you're strong in and then also areas that you're a little weaker in. Now, no matter what school of thought you subscribe to as far as, accentuating the strong and forgetting about the weak, okay, that doesn't matter because these are key result areas. In other words, these are things that you and only you can do. So you have to be at the top of your game on all of your key areas. So you really want to focus on those areas that you're weak in. And then you want to make sure that you become stronger in those. Because I guarantee you, if you look at the list, those areas that you're weak in, those are the ones that you're procrastinating on. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're going to reduce the amount of time and hopefully eliminate the time that you're procrastinating. Okay, reduce it as much as possible. So to do that, I want you to ask yourself this question. What is one skill that if you excelled at, okay, it will make the biggest result? Okay, give you the biggest results. What is the one skill? So that one skill could be anything. It can be communication skills. It can be leadership skills. It can be organization. Whatever it is, understand that all skills can be learned. Okay, so identify that one skill and then I want you to pursue that skill because that's going to help you in that key result area. All right, so now the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to pick out 3 areas that's going to give you the most value in your life, your business, or your organization. Okay, now, although it may seem that what I'm talking about has to do with procrastination in your business life, but I want you to understand this. This is my favorite saying from a BFF, Nisi. She says this all the time. I love when she says this. How you show up, okay? How you show up in one area is how you show up in all areas. Meaning, if you're disorganized at home, you're disorganized at work, okay? If you're hoarding at home, you're hoarding in your car, you're hoarding at work. It's just how you show up. Because in the equation of things, the common denominator is you. So if we get you organized, if we get you from procrastinating, then guess what? It doesn't matter what area it is because you're going to show up in all of the areas in your life. Okay. So I don't want you to think that this is all Pia's only talking about, being organized at business. It may seem that way, but understand that how you show up is how you're going to, in one area, is how you're going to show up in all the areas in your life. So let's just focus on the one that's most important to you, the one that you spend the most time at. And then once you develop yourself there, I promise you it will spill over into all the other areas in your life. Now that brings me to the next point. Once you identify those three things that contribute the most value to either your life, your business, or your organization, when is designated the time for you to work? I need you to work. Stay away from the water cooler gossip. Stay away from, chit-chatting with your coworkers. When it's time for you to work, make sure that you work. That way you'll get your work done in that allotted time, and it won't spill over into either your home life or the next day. Because understand this, whenever you leave anything undone, that's anything. It could be the dishes. Speaking of, no, I think I did my dishes. It could be the dishes, it could be your work, whatever it is. Anytime that you leave anything undone, guess what? It sits on your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is that programming, that operating system that works in the background of your mind, and it's constantly working. So even though consciously you may not be thinking about the things that you left undone, I promise you, subconsciously, your mind is working. And we want to clear up that space, right? There's so many other things to focus on, and we don't want to keep that stuff undone. So if you make sure that you work in a lot of time that you work, it won't spill over. Now, I want you to be aware of this, that the number one reason to conquer procrastination is to increase your happiness. Okay, the number one reason is to increase your happiness. And I want you to recognize that for 85% of the people, the happiness stems from having happy relationships. So by you reducing the amount of time that you procrastinate, okay, by focusing on those key areas will not only reduce the amount of time that you procrastinate, but it will also increase the amount of time that you work efficiently. And if you're working efficiently, guess what? That work will not spill over. And this will actually increase the efficiency or the quality of your life so that you can spend more quality time at home with your family. All right, so I hope this information was helpful and useful to you. Just remember, it's just a short 5-minute lesson, right? 5 minutes to learn, but it's going to take you a lifetime to master. Be patient with yourself, okay? So don't be hard on yourself. Understand that this is a process, but I'm here to help walk you through it. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next segment where we're going to be working on our body and get some movement done in the yoga routine. And again, I want to take this time and make sure I'm doing my little volume check, because for some reason every once in a blue moon I'll have some volume issues. But I want to take the time to welcome you, and happy Tuesday, guys. Happy Tuesday. This is the second day after the weekend, so this is a great time to be working on your result area. So remember those lists that we're talking about. And if you're just now joining us, I just want to kind of briefly catch you up to date to where we are. We started off with the vision. So our vision is what we want to accomplish from now to the end of this year. There's still a couple more months left in the end of this year. We want to then focus on what we want to accomplish for the next, 5 years. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because I guarantee you, if you don't take the time to do this now, 5 years from now, you're going to be pretty much in the same space that you are right now. And we don't want that to happen, right? We want to control where we are. So we want to have a vision of where we want to be. And then even for 5 years, go out 10 years, 20 years. And then once you have that vision, we made some lists. We made a master list. We had a weekly list. We even have a daily list. Okay, so now we're focusing on that daily list because we identified all the areas using the ABCDE method. And then now we're focusing on our result area. Now, if you missed any of the broadcasts, remember, you can find them all on my YouTube channel. You can just go to youtube.com/Pia McAdams. Or you can just go to YouTube and then in the search box and search for Pia McAdams, and you'll see all my videos on this series. And remember, we're talking about Eat That Frog by Tracy. But now we're going to move on into the yoga portion. Just a little 5-minute routine to get your mind-body connection here, get yourself aligned and center, get your body flowing, get some movement going on. And we're going internal to feel like what's going on inside of us, okay? Keep in mind that I want you to just kind of get rid of the thoughts of what it is that you have to do today. Hopefully, it's quiet in your home. If it's, if you're on Pacific Coast time, it's, 6 o'clock. This may be like right in the high traffic area of your morning. I mean, people may just be getting up, but maybe not. Maybe it's still pretty quiet for you, and you have just 5 minutes for yourself. If you're on the East Coast time, that means you're probably already at work, but guess what? You could set aside a little time. You can either do this later, or you can actually practice. Like, for instance, if you're in your office, kind of close your door and just set aside 5 minutes to get yourself moving. That's all it's going to take, just 5 minutes. Okay? So let's go ahead and do this. Take time to do your 3 breaths to get yourself centered, aligned, grounded. Focus on here and now in this present moment. Put all the thoughts outside of you about what you need to get done. Immediately following this, we're going to go into a 2-minute practice today. We're going to kind of be alternating between the 3-minute and the 2-minute, just to make sure that you're, getting a variety of some meditations going on. But I particularly want you to focus a lot on that 2-minute exercise drill that we're going to be doing. And we're going to be do that a couple times a day, guys. I promise you, if you just try that a couple times a day, just set your timer for 5 minutes. Okay, we're doing it for 2 minutes, but you want to increase your time. Set your timer for 5 minutes, or anywhere in between, from 2 to 5 minutes. You pick the time that you have allotted to meditate, and then just focus on your breath. And I'll give you more instructions as we get closer to the meditation. Because right now, I want you to just focus on yoga. All right. So let's see. Let's go ahead and let's go into tabletop. I like starting off in tabletop. And tabletop is when you're on your hands and knees with your palms directly underneath your shoulders. Fingers are spread out nice and wide. Toes are spread out wide as well. And then just kind of get yourself moving. Like, just kind of take your hips side to side. I'll kind of direct you as well. But the most important thing is first get yourself aligned. Okay, use your breath to get yourself centered, aligned, and come to this present moment. Once you have that done, then I want you to take another breath and then just set your intention on what it is that you want to accomplish for this next 5 minutes of yoga practice. All right, go ahead and join me on the mat. All right, give me a second here. I'm going to adjust the camera because I want to make sure you're able to see my mat. There we go. Now we're cooking with fire. All right, so again, just kind of go side to side. Take a couple deep breaths. Just get your body moving for this first thing in the morning. Feel what's going on internally, any aches, stresses, pains, strains. Just notice those right now, and then use your breath to kind of calm those areas down. Come to neutral spine, go ahead and set your intention. And then let's use some cat-cow movement to get the body warmed up, particularly the spine, the core area. So I want you to draw your breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, I want you to drop your chin down to your chest. I want you to round to the spine, tuck your tailbone under. Again, inhaling. Head and chest comes forward this time. Belly button drops down toward the mat. Press the armpits down also toward the mat. And as you exhale, round to the spine, tuck the pelvic under. Let's do it again. Inhaling. This time as you exhale, let's go ahead and return back to neutral spine. We're going to start off with the balancing pose. So with any balancing pose, I want you to find a spot and just focus on that spot. Just stare at it and then just kind of listen to the directions. You're going to draw your breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to extend that right arm straight ahead, and you're going to also extend that left leg behind. Nice long extension from the fingertip all the way down to the toes. Once you stabilize your torso, belly button in toward your spine. And then go ahead and release on the exhale. And as you exhale again, opposite arm, opposite leg. And remember, on this balance, if you find yourself unstable, feel free to lower that leg behind or even lower the arm if you need to. But still get a nice long extension from fingertip all the way to the toes. And release down again as you exhale. Inhale again. Let's go to the opposite side one more time. Right arm, left leg. Extend nice and long. press those shoulder blades down. Keep your head in natural alignment with your spine so you're not trying to strain and look up. Remember, just find the focal point and just focus on that one spot, whether it be on the floor or on the mat. Go ahead and release it down. And as you exhale, opposite arm, opposite leg. All right, good job. Go ahead and release it down. This time as you exhale, I want you to curl those toes under, and I want you to take it to downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Savasana. And start to pedal your legs. Let's get some salutations in. So go ahead and walk your feet in toward your palms. Try to keep your palms flat, so if you need to, go ahead and bend those knees. And then I want you to slowly round yourself up, one vertebrae at a time, making sure that your head is the last to rise. Let's come to Tadasana, mountain pose. So your feet are together or slightly distance apart. Feel like there's some groundiness going on from the bottom of your feet all the way down to the middle earth. Oh gosh, I'm off the camera, sorry. All right, so as we inhale, you're going to take the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, you're going to dive the body forward. As you inhale, look up halfway. Flatten out the palms, step back, right, left into the plank. Release your knee, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. And as you inhale, take it to upper facing dog. And as you exhale, curl those toes under and take it to downward facing dog. Now from here, we're going to step forward, right, left. Inhale, take it all the way up, arch back. Exhale, dive the body forward. Now look up halfway. Flatten out the palm, this time step back, left, right. Into the plank. Release the knee, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to upward facing dog. Curl those toes under. Exhale to downward facing dog. Just kind of hold it here and just start to pedal those legs. Now as we inhale, let's come up on the top of our toes. And as we exhale, roll down to the balls of your feet all the way down toward the heels. Let's do it again. As we inhale, come up on the top of our toes. And as we exhale, roll down to the balls of the feet all the way down toward the heels. Do that again. Inhale, come up on the top of the toes. This time we're going to lean over toward the right, bending that right knee and taking the hips over toward the opposite direction. Return back to the center and release down. Come up on top of toes again. This time we're going to take it over toward the opposite side, bending that left knee. Hips go over toward the left. Return back to the center and release it all the way down. All right, draw the knees down toward the mat. And as you exhale, extend the legs. Let's do that 2 more times. Remember, just kind of warming up those hamstrings, quadriceps. Get those shoulder joints nice and movement here. All right, let's go ahead and bring that right knee into your chest. Bring that right knee down, extend that leg, and left leg goes all the way out. And then take it down to your forearm to the pigeon. Now this position here, let's make sure I'm completely on that. On this position here, your hips are actually square toward the mat, so you're pressing your hips down. You're down on your forearm. If it's too much strain, then feel free to take it up. Again, depending on your flexibility, you may not be able to go all the way down to the forearm, but if you can, you're going to take it all the way down. Crown of your head goes down toward the mat. The forehead goes down to the mat where the crown of the head goes forward. Now I want you to take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, and take that right arm, take it up and over. So extend that right arm up toward the ceiling. Your gaze follows your thumb. Continue to breathe. Nice, deep, ujjayi breaths. And then release down. Now curl that left toe. Flatten out the palms. Bring your body to the plank. Release your knee, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. And then inhale to upper facing dog. Curl those toes under. Exhale to downward facing dog. All right, let's bring the opposite knee in. So this time it's the left knee. Place it just below your belly button. And then take the opposite leg, the right leg, and extend it back. Pressing your hips down toward the mat. And then release the forearms down. Forehead goes down toward the mat. Crown of your head goes facing forward. This right here is a great position or pose for you to open up the hip flexor. So again, depending on your flexibility, you may have to come up, which is okay. All right, draw the breath in. And as you exhale, this time you extend the opposite arm up and over, up toward the ceiling. Blaze follows your thumb. Obviously, if there's too much strain or stress, feel free to look forward or to look down. Now, as you open up your torso, you're still pressing the hips down toward the mat. Still square, just a gentle stretch on the hip flexor, on those gluteals, and then release it down. Now curl the toe under, flatten out the palms. Let's take it back to the plank. On the inhale, and as you exhale, downward facing dog. Again, inhale, and exhale. One more time, inhale, and exhale. Now walk your feet in toward your palms. And then slowly take it up, one vertebrae at a time. Again, making sure that your head is relaxed to rise. Inhale, take the arms up. As you exhale, dive the body forward. Place your palms flat. Walk your feet out toward the edges of the mat. And as you exhale, release the hips, tailbone down toward the mat. Using your elbows to push down those inner thighs, bring your palms together. Heart center, bow your head down. Mudasana. And then give yourself some gratitude. Now go ahead and release the palms down toward the mat, and then take them to behind, and then slowly transition yourself into a nice, comfortable seated position facing to the front. Make sure that you're on your sits bones and not the fleshy part of your bottom. Your torso is nice and tall. Shoulder blades are drawn back. As you inhale, take those arms up. And as you exhale, release the fingertips down toward the mat. Again, nice deep breath. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time, deep breath. Inhaling. This time we're going to greet the palms together at the very top. Exhale as you bring your hands down to heart center and namaste. All right, so it's going to bring us to our 2-minute meditation exercise. And based on this exercise, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be counting your breath. Specifically, you're going to be focusing on your exhale. So as you're breathing normally, not trying to manipulate your breath. We'll, of course, get ourselves grounded first. But you're just going to breathe normally. And on each exhale, you're going to count. Okay, just starting with number 1 and just counting up to as high as you can go in this 2-minute time frame. Now, anytime your mind starts to wander, or there's any outside distractions that your mind gets away from your breath, acknowledge that thought or acknowledge the wandering, and then bring your focus back to your breath and start all over again at 1. Okay? So again, all you're doing is you're just breathing normally, inhaling, and then as you exhale, you're going to count 1. Inhale, exhale, count 2. And just continue to focus on your breath. Anytime your mind starts to wander, acknowledge the thought, and then bring your focus back to your breath and start all over at 1. To get us started, let's get ourselves centered and aligned. Set your intentions for this meditation to focus on the breath. Taking a nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose, and exhaling through your mouth. Again, nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose, and exhaling through your mouth. One more time, nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose. This time as you exhale through your mouth, I want you to close your eyes. And let's go ahead and get started. Remember, count the exhale. Begin now. Just regular breaths. All right, go ahead and stop your count. As you release, relax, return refreshed and calm. You've done something good for yourself today. I want to thank you for taking the time to meditate with me. And of course, thank you for taking the time to watch this transform yourself in 15 minutes. Your word for today is playful. I want you to have a playful day. And I will see you the same time tomorrow. Bye.